Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here coming at you with another video. This here is the Yamaha Grizzly 700 fuel injection 4x4. Not to be confused with the big bear that I picked up, which is actually right over there. So this one right here came in, this is a 700, and it came in, a guy dropped it off to me to do some repair work on it. And his problem was it couldn't get it out of gear. Now he removed all these covers, all this type of stuff. So I did none of this. So I just wanted to let you know I didn't jump ahead of you, but I wanted to show you guys what's going on. So the complaint with the bike is I can't get it out of gear. He literally couldn't move this lever right here. No matter what he did. He pulled the clutch, it wouldn't release. It was stuck in reverse. Just wouldn't go anywhere. He says it will go backwards, but it will not go forward. And he's like, I have no idea. He goes, I parked it in reverse, and there it sat, and nothing else happened. He says, I put a new battery in it, got the thing running, which it does run. It runs beautiful. He goes, but I can't get this thing out of gear. So, Kevin, can you take a look at it? So I figured I would do a video on this. Now, I want to let you know I already had to release the thing to move it over here because literally the wheels were locked right up. This four-wheel drive all the time. So, well, not all the time. It's got push button four-wheel drive right here, but it was locked in four-wheel drive when he tried to move it. So literally both axles were locked together. It was just a big mess. So I have a couple things I have to do to this bike. I have to do an oil change, which is going to be a separate video. But tonight's video is I'm going to show you guys the interlock. So I'm going to show you guys how this works, and we're going to get into it. I bought the cable. In fact, before I do anything, I will show you guys the part number. So if you have a Yamaha Grizzly that you can't get out of gear because of the interlock, I'll show you guys the part number right here. This is a Yamaha Grizzly 700. Common problem. There's the part number right there. 3B4-2637F-10. Okay, that's the interlock cable for this bike. And let me show you guys where this goes, and you'll understand exactly why once you see it. It's crazy. So when you look up under here, okay, so you see right here this yoke right here. Alright, so I had to back it out. It threads in there. Do not hit that with a hammer. You will break that air off. Okay, but in the back here, see if I can see it here. Right here. I already unscrewed it. This is the piece that comes through. Okay, so what happens is when you pull this lever, it takes this pin right here that's sticking down right there, and it pushes it, it pulls it back. And that allows this part right here to release the shifter. So when I move the shifter up top, see how it goes into different gears? Okay, in reverse it locks. So that's the cable we have to replace. Now, these cables right here are pretty simple, nothing too dramatic, but I'm going to show you guys an easy way to route your cable with ease. Okay, so let me get you guys in the stand and we'll get crack-a-lacking. Before I do, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so when I post a video, you guys receive it. Alright, hang tight and I'll be right with you. Okay, I'm one of those guys who likes to do things, so let's just say I like to just do them and be done with them and have a little fun doing it. So let me show you guys a couple things that I'm going to be using on this job that you're going to want to have. Is a good thing of 3M electrical tape. There is no better electrical tape than 3M, period. And the other thing I'm going to use is Permatex Anti-Seize, right there. And you might notice I use a lot of Permatex stuff because in my trade, I only use the best. And I have been using Permatex for, well, since I started. So why change something that works, right? Alright, and you can get these products in the auto parts store. I am not sponsored by them at all. That is an actual review that I do. Alright, let me get you guys closer. Okay, so for this part, I pulled the cable through a little bit this way as far as you can, which is not really far at all. And then I'm going to take the brand new spanking cable right here, and I am going to simply electrical tape the new cable to the old cable. Does that fix the problem? No. Does it make my life a whole lot easier? It will. Okay. Why am I doing that? I'm going to show you guys. You're going to love this. Okay, so now I'm on the other side of the bike, and I'm looking in for the cable. It seems to be right here. Remove all these covers. This cable is going to get hung up on stuff. That's inevitable. But now the cable's still on this side. And then I can just pull it up through and bring it to where it's got to go. Now before I go any further with this, I don't want to accidentally pull the cable out, so I'm going to go stick it on the other side in the interlock with just a couple of turns. Okay, I'm back on the interlock side, and this, my friends, is where I'm going to use the Permatex Anti-Seize. Right there. On that like that. And now, when I put that in, it's not going to bind or lock or do anything. It's just going to stay in there, and I'm not going to have to worry about it. Okay, so I got it set in there. You can see the cable sticking back out through. That's because the cable's pushed all the way through on the other side. And then I'm just using a 12mm wrench. Put it on the top of it. And push down to tighten it. And it is nice and tight. I get a lot of people saying, Kevin, wow, you make that look easy. That, my friends, is just called experience. So, and that's why I have this channel, to share my experience with you guys and show you guys the tips and tricks needed to do this. So, when I find the cable up here, it's this one right here. And I'm just going to pull it through. It's not going to come up easy. It's going to be bound up on stuff, because up through here is a whole bunch of wires and cables and what have you. So you really just got to take your time and pull it up nicely. Find out where it goes and try to do your best to get it up through, and see if there's any clips or hangers that it might be on, because as you can see, I got all this wiring here from the winch right in the way. Your machine probably won't have all that. So it's one of those things where you just got to take your time, find your cable, and pull it on up through. Like I said, it's not an easy thing all the time. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. That's the wiring. Don't want to pull that. Find out where this goes. There's an air intake right there. So, and you can see it on the other side. I'll take it on the other side so you guys can see. See right here, the cable loop through. Loop-de-loop right there. And like I said, this stuff that he's already taken off. So it's really just a matter of maneuvering and putting in there. And there's like a little spot up in there where it's hanging up. So we're going to see if we have to remove anything else. So I just want to get that cable up through. But there's a bracket underneath there, a lip like this, like a hook, and the cable goes through, so you got to make sure you can get both of them through there. And I might have to untape it on this part right here. Actually, you can see the loop right here. I'll zoom you right in. see this ring right here? There's one more down bottom where it's binding up, and that's what I'm trying to get it up into. Is the second, the bottom one, not this one, the bottom one. There's a secondary one. Okay, so I couldn't do it from underneath there. Sometimes they get bound up like this one was, and it's just a pain in the neck. So I'm gonna have to cut that one out, but I'm not worried about that at the moment. What I'm worried about is getting that other cable up through because of where it's located. There's so much electronics up in here from all this winch stuff that typically you'd be able to pull, like I did, tape it on there and pull it through, but they got the wiring going from the to the winch going down through. So I'm just trying to kind of push it up right now and find out where it's going. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Alright, see the cable. Here on the neck. Through. When you pull these things through, make sure you put it on all the clips as you're coming up through, because it's very important. Like I'll show you. Like that clip right there. Lock it in, and then take a pair of pliers and you crimp it down. The reason why you want to crimp it down because this vehicle will stay loose. You want to make sure it stays in the holder. Just go right over with it. It still can move back and forth, but now it's locked in there. It ain't going anywhere, and I don't have to worry about falling out. And then we'll go back to the front. Alright, now we're up front. I'm going to take this off. Sorry guys, I'm sorry I'm sweaty and dirty and all kinds of stuff. It's wicked hot out here. Here's your cable right here coming through, and that's what we got to take it out of. Show you guys how to do that. Let me get you guys in the, like that. Yep. Alright. Go back and forth and loosen it. And see if you can pull it. Now this cable right here is seized up, so I'm going to have to cut that. So let me go grab a pair of cutters and I'll snip that real quick. Sometimes when you go to the junkyard you find tools. I found these pair of long handle cutters, and I use them for doing jobs like this. Things work awesome. That out of here. Take this and bring this down if you can. Okay. And that cable's out. Right here. I'm just going to pull that through the other side real quick. Alright, so we got the cable up through, and then we're going to pop it in to its holster. If we can. Sometimes it's easier said than done, sometimes it's not. Okay. Pop it in like that. Get it through that way. And there we go. And that, my friend, is how the cable goes in. Just like that. Real simple. Real easy to do. It just goes through the eyelet like any brake cable, like on a pedal bike, a shifter cable or anything that sits in there. Now, what happens? So now we got to see if we have to adjust it. So this part right here is simple. I'm going to just pull the brake handle right there, and I'm going to try shifting it into gear. See if it works. Okay, so I'm pulling on the cable. I can shift it. And then, when I put it in reverse, show you guys this real quick. when I move the shifter into reverse, this part right here, it should hit. Yep. Okay. So now I can't move this into reverse unless I move that back. So I'm going to show you guys how that mechanism works, and we'll go from there. Okay. So now you can see right there where the pin is coming through. See if I can blow you guys up a little bit. Right there. Okay. And then when I pull the lever, see how it sucks it in? Now it's in. I can shift it, goes past it. But when I let it out and go like this, now I can't move it. It's jammed up right in there. That's how it's supposed to be. Then I pull it back and I can shift it. That's all there is to it, guys. Real simple. If you put this together and you can't shift it, just say I put it in, and I mean, this worked out perfectly. I didn't have to adjust the cable or anything. I mean, I literally bolted it down, fed it through, hooked it up, and off I went. But let's just say for some reason you go to do it and it doesn't work. What do? I'm going to show you guys how to fix that problem. Alright, so typically right here you would have an adjustment. But on this style, it doesn't have that adjustment. There's nothing there. It's just completely, you know, it fits in there and hooks onto there. Your adjustment is actually right here, about, I don't know, about 6 inches down the cable. What you would do is you would slide these two up, and then you can loosen up the jam nut here, and then, see, it's already loose. It's already, you know, it's all the way in. But if I wanted to, I could back this out like that, and then it would still work in this case, but you can adjust it here. So you'd want to make sure yours is all the way in. If in fact your cable is all the way in and it still won't come out, you need to take a look at the other end. I'll show you guys that one. Show you guys that real quick on the old cable. You guys can get a couple of turns down bottom. This is the part that goes in. This is the cable part that locks in. Okay, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but when this was all the way out, I never seized it. So see how it's got all the rust and corrosion? That's why this cable failed. This is a very bad design. It should have a kind of like a rubber boot over it, but nevertheless, you know, the cable's like 35 bucks. It's not crazy money, and you know, that's how that goes. And make sure you slide your little shield up over it. This fell off when we were pulling it through, and that's pretty much it. So you have your cable adjustment on the other end right here. Just slide these two back. This is the old one, so you can see how hard it is. So you're gonna have to really fight with it, but you can move them back. You can see part of the adjustment there, and on the other cable. This is all sun-baked anyway, but that's where you would adjust it from right there. And you shouldn't have any issues with it after that. And that, my friends, is how you fix your shift interlock on a Yamaha Grizzly 700 fuel injection. Other models are similar. You know, there is different cables. Here is another style cable like that with the shift interlock. I had this in stock. This is for another Yamaha. And what I do is I push the cable all the way through, so that piece right there comes all the way out, and that's where I put the never seize on. So when I slide it back in, now it's only moving this far and this far, you know what I mean? So when it moves out, you want to make sure you have never seize on there, and then I never seize the threads, because if I have to replace this cable, I want to be able to take it out again, and that's why I use the Permatex never seize. It won't back out on you, so you can tighten it up nice and tight, nice and snug. I just wanted to show you guys how that works. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And hopefully this helps you guys out with any of your Yamaha Grizzly 700 repairs. So, anyway, I'm out.